Welcome to another creature case study. In this case study, we're going to examine the Mage character. This is a rather complicated character because it demonstrates many things. It demonstrates automated walk cycles, it demonstrates multi-layered hair and multi-layered cloth dynamics. So let's get started. First off, here are the body parts of the Mage. Okay, here's the rig. The bones are rather complicated. You can see there are multiple bones, different hierarchies for various body parts of the Mage. There is an entire chain of bones coming down, describing the hair. There are multiple chains of bones coming down, describing the different layers of cloth. And then there's the legs and the hands and the staff. But that's still rather easy. Let's take a look at the animation. All right, let's play the animation. Right, you can see many things are going on here. Let me turn off the bones so you can fully appreciate this animation. So first off, you can see that the cloth is wiggling about like garment. There's 3 layers of cloth wiggling about. There are 2 layers of hair also swaying about. There is the blinking of the eyes. The body itself is actually moving in a rather subtle fashion, like a soft body dynamics way, which is what we're doing actually. And the arms are swaying about, and of course the legs, there's a basic walk cycle going on. So many things. Let's break it down into its individual components. Let's talk about the easier parts first. First off, the arms. Your arms are basically your basic smooth IK rotate motor. So 1 smooth IK rotate motor for each chain of arms. Very simple. Just put them in, and they just start swaying automatically. Okay, next, the legs. Same deal. Another bunch of smooth IK rotate motors, except in this case, we've shaved off the bottom of the semicircle, so the scale bottom is set to 0. That's how we make the legs have a convincing walking motion. Okay, now for the fancier stuff. Let's start with the hair. The hair, the base, consists of a rotate cycle motor. This is the main driver of the hair motion. And you can see it goes from 0 degrees to 10 degrees. So it will rotate the hair left and right. And you can guess at the base of that rotate cycle motor, those chain of bones are actually band physics motors, and they have the physics mode set to motion. So that's how you get that swaying hair. The same deal is done as well for the other piece of shorter hair on the mage's head, except we are putting different kinds of motors on the top hair. So instead of having just the band physics, we actually don't have any band physics at all. We're just using 2 rotate cycle motors to simulate the swaying motion. And the reason why we do this is because the hair is so short, we don't really need the physics to drive it. We just need some basic rotational motion to fake those hair dynamics. Okay? Alright, let's talk about the cloth. The cloth is basically a bunch of band physics motors coming down the line of the garment. And for each layer of garment, they have their own, the chain of bones have their own separate band physics motors. Same thing with the base garment over here, actually. So basically 3 layers of band physics motors are controlling the 3 layers of garments, and they all have actually different levels of stiffness set so that the garments actually sway with different frequencies. That's how we accomplish it. The other thing to note is that because this is cloth is heavily damped. It doesn't actually jiggle about in a lively manner, and that's why we have damping set to 30, which is a rather high value. This is to simulate the heavy look of cloth. And that's how you get the swaying motion. Okay? Now finally, let's take a look at the actual body regions. The body region, just to give it a bit more dynamics, we're giving it a deformed physics motor on the body. If you click on Edit Motor, you notice that all I've done is I've glued the top parts of the body. Everything below is left unconstrained. So it's free to actually move and jiggle about, right? So that allows us to give this really wobbly feel to the character, which is kind of cool. And the eyes, finally the blinking eyes. The blinking eyes are done with our usual trick, which is a control points motor on the center of the eye. And if you scroll through, you notice that all we're doing is we're animating the scale Y component of this control points motor. We're just opening it and shutting it. You can see it's going from value of 1 to 0 and back. And that basically opens and shuts the eye. All right? And we replicate that spline across the entire timeline that we care about for animation of the eye. Right. And so this entire combination of mesh deformation and bone motors allows us to do multi-layered garments and multi-layered hair on a walking character. This concludes this case study. Thanks for watching.